Hey, it's me again. It's been a while, so I'm back with you to show you all about the brilliant SenseHat, which is a device that connects to the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi, the general purpose input output pins. It snaps onto that. I'll show you pictures or video of that in a minute. Unfortunately, I'm not an influencer. I don't get paid good money to talk about makeup or other stuff for soft drinks. Drink water, kids, it's the best. Um, so I'm a bit of an old-fashioned fella here. I've got two cameras, one recording the screen, one recording the Pi, and I'll show you the results of this code in a minute. But it basically, the SenseHat is plugs onto the top, as I say, in the GPIO pins, and it's packed for, well, it's got full, initially I suppose, to look at it, I'll say we'll have a look in a minute, but it's got 48 LEDs which can change color and display on code, so you can individually program 48 different lights to respond, so you can quite easily make patterns, or you can make, make a nice display, make some little animation or something. It's also, though, probably more excitingly got sensors on it to detect humidity and to detect temperature and to detect movement, and it can also display that back to the screen as an output, so whether through the screen or whether through the LEDs. So for anyone who's kind of familiar with tech and STEM and computer science and working with things, devices in class, kind of turns your Pi a little bit into a microbit, I suppose, when it's out and dressed. If you're familiar with the microbit and the kind of the LEDs and the way of displaying inputs onto that, then you'll be familiar with this kind of setup. It is a lot more comprehensive, however. There's a doesn't have the buttons that the microbit has, but it's got joystick. Again, we'll look at that in a minute. But what's lovely, I suppose, about this is that it's got colour. So I suppose it's just, if you're visually, if you're into the cosmetics and you like your displays to have a bit more colour, then this is for you. Over the microbit, this is much more comprehensive, and it's great fun. So let's just have a quick look at some simple code here that I wrote. We can see what's going on. So basically, first thing you have to do, obviously we're in Python here. I am going to make this a bit bigger if I can. Forgive me here. Let me just click on this and make this a bit bigger so that we can get a look at, see what we're doing. Should have had this closed down really. Maybe get rid of the shell. So basically what I've done here is I have imported into Python the SenseHat library, and from that I'm using the SenseHat function. I'm sure you would be familiar with importing libraries and so on in Python, whether it's using statistics or pandas if you're doing data analytics, or whether you're using time or for delays. We'll look at that again in a minute, or we'll look at that in a minute. But basically just importing the SenseHat library. You don't need to know anything about that other than the fact that we're going to use that function SenseHat. And what we're going to do then, because we're good coders stroke lazy, whenever we call that function we are going to call it from now on sense. So effectively the variable name sense is this SenseHat. And then what we did was we created a number, I think there's 9 there, and 9 variables, and these correspond to the hexadecimal value for their colour. So R would be red, and that's 225500. Orange, you don't have to know these, but orange is, or O for orange is 255128. So they're your colours of the of the rainbow. Okay. Then what I did was I created basically a list, and the list then is a this is effectively your SenseHat as LEDs. So as I said, it's 8 by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going along the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going down the sides. So it's 48. And if you look then at these correspond to the value of the variable there. So we start with a k there. So k is equal to a blank you'll notice that that light effectively is out. Okay, and then there's an R and an R, that's red, so blank, red, red, blank, blank, red, red, K, blank, effectively, and then red, 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 so that's R, 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 red, red, red. So what it's doing is it's drawing out a heart. Okay, so if I run that code, you'll see nothing because the SenseHat's on the floor here, but I'll record that with my phone and I'll put that in. Okay, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, so let's move on then to the next one. So these are flashing rainbow hearts. Alright, so this is very similar to the one that we just had. Code's a little bit more comprehensive, but basically you can see now that that we got some new stuff in here. So we're importing again the SenseHat library. We're importing another library now, time, and we're going to use the function sleep as part of that, just to slow things down. Otherwise it just goes bang and you don't see the change. It's kind of nice to slow it down so you see stuff. So what we got here then, we got SenseHat again, we're calling it sense, we're renaming that as a variable, sense light low. So as part of the sense function, there's an attribute of low light and we're setting that to true just to make it a bit lighter. Alright, so we can have it as false and then it'll be full. Just a little bit more coding just to make it more comprehensive. So again, exactly the same code as last time. But this time though, we're going to have flashing rainbow hearts. We need different hearts. So what we got this time is a series of lists. Red heart, which we just saw on the previous version. Pink heart. So the code is almost identical. The difference this time is, so when you see R's at the top now, it changes to P because P is pink. Okay, and so on and so forth. Alright, so just a series of hearts. A pink heart, orange heart, yellow heart, green heart, aqua heart, blue heart, purple heart. And then what we do then is we've set up then a new list, a list name called heart colors, and that list contains, you see the list there again, if you're familiar with Python you'll know the list is denoted by the square brackets. That list then is red heart, pink heart, orange heart. So within our list of heart colours are all them, is all that code, are all them LED instructions. Okay, so then there's now created a function, def, define, rainbow heart. So this is a function then. You see it's gone blue and you've got your kind of, you're not passing any arguments to it necessarily, so you don't need anything there. So for colour, so colour is just a variable. So colour in heart colours. So basically for every colour in your list, it's going to do this. Okay, it's going to set the set the pixels on the SenseHat to the current colour. Okay. So let's think, what's that doing then? So that's going into this heart colours, it's going to your list. Okay, and colour is every value in that list. Alright, so heart colours, and it steps in and it says, right, I'm going to do red heart and I'm going to assign it to colour. Okay, first time round. So it says set, sorry, no, it doesn't, sorry, it says set pixels to colour. Well, the current value of colour is red. Okay, so you get a red heart. It gives you that for 1 second. Remember earlier we were saying about time, sleep? So time was the library, sleep is the function, and the 1 means 1 second. So it's going to stay on the screen for 1 second. Then it's going to clear it. Then it's going to go around the loop again. Second colour. So it steps back in, pink heart. So this line now kicks in, this second line kicks in, and now it's pink. Boom, 1 second. Jumps out, or clears it, sorry, forgive me, clears it, jumps out. Goes in orange, yellow, heart, okay, and boom. So you get the same picture, different colour every time. And I'm just running it there on the carpet and it's playing nicely. Okay, so now I'm getting a rainbow heart and you'll see this running. Okay. Alright then, so now a rainbow. Very similar thing as you can imagine. Same code again. This time rainbow is of a list again, with the square brackets, ROY, so all of these basically now. Okay, don't really have to don't need to put coordinates in, so I'm not drawing a heart anymore, I'm just displaying a colour. Okay, So what's happening here then? So what's happening here is rainbow is a list, ROY green, or sorry, red, orange, yellow, green. These variables. Clear the screen. All right. So this time for Y in range, we haven't got a list of we don't have a list of hearts anymore, of colours. We just got we know there's 8 colours this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we put in range 8 because we're going to do this 8 times. All right. Colour is the current rainbow colour, and that's to the value of Y. Okay, so Y in range 8. So again, a bit like the last one, when it jumps in, Y becomes red. Okay, so it's going to say for X in range 8, set pixel X, which is going to be 1 to 8. It's going to be Y, which is of the value, what is Y? It's currently Y is red, and it's going to set the colour to that. Okay, so it's going to go pixels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red, and then it's going to go down to the next time it's going to jump out, it's going to go down. This is going to change, it's going to step down, and then it's going to do the same. So then it's going to go orange, and it's going to go yellow, and it's going to go green, and it's going to go cyan. And again, I'll show you it running with the phone so you can see it. We get red line, we get a yellow line. So every time we jump in the loop, it's stepping forward one. So you're not changing the same row to red, orange, yellow, green. You're setting the first row to red, then it jumps down a line, and then it does the next colour in the list. Okay, sounds a bit confusing that, I'll get that, but maybe you'll see it when it runs. Right, last one then is this. So this is a bit of a play on all that, I suppose. This is rainbow and message. So this time then we're basically what we're doing with this one is we're combining what we've just learned, or what we've just done. Okay, so we've got our sense at again importing, we've got our time, we've got our variables for our rainbow. Okay, so that's down to line 17 there. That's our variables. We've got our heart defined as we had back then. That's line 19 to 28 here. Our list full of coordinate LED coordinate placings, if you want to say this colour, that light this colour please, that light that colour. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to say, right, sense clear the screen if there's anything on it. Sense set pixels to heart for 3 seconds. Okay, so that we know how to do that because we did it earlier. Then we're going to do the rainbow. We just did that, just talked through that, exactly the same. We're going to do each line for 1 second, and then the rainbow stays on the screen there for 3 seconds, which is line 42 there. And then this is new, we've not done this before. Just to kind of finish it off, we're going to say sense.show message. So on the sense screen we're going to show a message. Again, show a message is a function within the sense, or an attribute within the sense function. And what do we send it? We just send it this string. And we're going to say thank you tiny text, so thank you to me. Text color, which is an attribute of that of show message, is going to be white, and the background color is going to be blank. I beg your pardon, sorry, it's going to be blue, sorry, B, which is blue up here. Okay, so you're going to have a white background, okay, because they're looking at these variables here, W and B. If we look up here, you can see W and B. Okay, so then if I click on that, run, let's see what I get. I get a love heart, nice red love heart, and then I get a red line, I get an orange line, sorry, yellow, green, blue, purple, stays on for a few seconds, and the screen goes blue. Yeah, which is what we're expecting, and kind of a white tiny text. So that's worked lovely. Okay, so that's the sense at. Now I'm just mindful that I'm showing you love hearts and rainbows and all that, and it's maybe you might be thinking, oh, that's pretty, but what? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a second video taking you into Scratch, which I know Scratch is quite easy to grow out of, I do understand that, but it is great for interacting with the SenseHat, you can actually install an extension. As anybody that's ever used Pen or Music in Scratch will know how to do that. And using the gear stick then, or the joystick, and shaking it, and environmental changes, you can see things. You can see things changing, which is great. So that's the next video. Okay.